Yay!
Shello, everybody! Thanks so much for joining.
Yes.
We have a very exciting episode today. This is going to be everything you need to know about becoming a mermaid.
From the very beginning.
Yes, the very beginning.
Beginning.
Just learned that it's a thing
that it exists.
that you can do. So where do you begin? That's what we're going over today. Welcome to Don't Tap the Glass.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. I'm Felicia with Fins.
And I'm Jasmine the Siren.
Yeah. So we have some fun crafts today. Ornament. We have little wine cups, or I guess you could put any kind of beverage you please in here.
But they technically say wine sipper.
Yes,
so.
but they're red and green. We've got matching headbands on. Yeah, so we're super excited to hang out with y'all. Shall we get into it? We also took some questions from Instagram over the past couple days, so we'll get to those as well. Thank you so much for those of you who did submit questions.
And I'm going to try and keep an eye on the chat as well, because we need a second monitor system.
I know, we do.
We have upgraded the camera system.
Yes, I don't know if you could tell, but we're actually using a camera and a capture card, the whole shebang. We're really trying to level up the production value here. Super excited about that. Yeah. We're so happy it worked.
It only took a few days to figure it out.
You know.
But we got there.
We're investing.
We did.
Yes. But yeah, so Don't Tap the Glass is going to be a once a month-ish podcast live show where we talk about all kinds of things, live performance, and mermaid. Yeah, so if you have any thoughts, questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And
slide over our giant thing of rhinestones.
We also do crafts while we stream.
Because we get distracted.
Yeah, we need like something else to do. Yeah.
We almost did that at the same time.
I know.
So I think what we both talked about when we started bringing this episode up is like where to start, and number one before anything else is safety. So I think that's a good place to start talking about this, which is making sure you know how to swim. And that sounds silly,
but it's important.
It's very important to make sure not only can you swim comfortably, but you can swim safely, especially if you're binding your feet together. Yeah,
because it is a different experience, and it can feel super weird if you've only ever done like bi-fins or the flutter kick, and then now you're like, whoa, I have to do a whole different
so much you gotta do.
Yeah. So definitely making sure that you are prepared for that swim level. And a great way to begin, I would say, is with a monofin.
Yeah. Monofins are, well, after you've swam comfortably and practice doing the, like, let's play mermaids in the pool. Because everyone does that, and that's okay.
It is. You know, you come up with your powers, your name.
What color is your tail?
Exactly. All the things. Yeah. And when I was growing up, my tail, I specifically remember this because me and my friend, my childhood friend Julia, we were sitting at dinner with her family, and like, you know, there was a lull in the conversation, so I decided to just bring up, literally in the middle of dinner, I was probably like in middle school, and I was like, so if I was a mermaid, literally out of the blue, nowhere, nobody was talking about this. If I was a mermaid, I think that my tail would be white, iridescent, with like pink scales put in.
And here you are.
And here
you are.
A rose gold mermaid.
You mean a blue box?
Yes.
Thank you.
So
incredible.
Yeah, that is it. I've always been like this.
I think mine was purple growing up. Mine was always like purplies.
Nice.
I wanted a purple tail for a really long time, but I didn't end up getting purple for my tail for some reason.
Well, maybe still in the
someday.
future. Yeah,
you never know. I'm sure I will have one someday.
Yes.
So do you want to talk about monofins?
Monofins!
So that's the next step.
Yeah.
Which is great options to just make sure that you get comfortable with your feet being in there and having all that extra propulsion.
Because it is different. And also, it can even get more fine-tuned to like the rigidness and like what the monofin is made of.
Yep. We have examples.
We do have examples. We brought our monofin.
So this is my monofin I learned in. So this is a Fantasea
the original,
the one, and it's all silicones. There's no.
It's super floppy, very flowy.
Hand that to me.
Yeah, it's also a bit.
It's heavy. It's
kind of heavy.
Yeah.
This is like what, like maybe
10 pounds? I think it's 10 pounds because of the amount of times I've put it in a suitcase.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I can, if I'm overweighted on my suitcase, I just toss this in, take this out, and there you go.
And then
we're
it's
underweight.
about 10 pounds.
But yeah, I have this one too. Mine's in black, but this was one of my first ones. But my very first one.
Is it this one?
Yeah. That one that you're holding.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
I got the Luna from Finis.
I like this one a lot.
It's also super floppy. It's a little more rigid than the Mertailor one because it's still sort of silicone. Like, what is this? I don't know. Rubber?
It's like a rubbery. It's not as heavy. It's not nearly as heavy.
Nuh-uh.
And it doesn't have as much floppy give.
Yeah.
Silicone is very
flexible. I would say this one's probably a slightly, like, faster. Like, it offers a little more propulsion.
Yeah, definitely.
This was my very first one. This is what I ordered when I figured out that you could be a mermaid and I wanted to practice. And this was my practice fin. Yep. Which, maybe in a second, we're gonna do some nice reacting to our very first videos. But this is another good monofin. This is the Linden.
I love this.
Available on Amazon. Linden is an incredible mermaid who's been in the business probably the longest. And she has a very signature fluke shape as well. Like, this is, she said, modeled after dolphins, the fastest creatures in the sea. So this is a really good starter monofin, but it's hard and it's super zippy. Like, you
move in that thing.
And also I would say that these ones that are a little more rigid, or like competitor monofins, or the ones that are like this where they're hard, it's a little bit harder on your ankles, I want to say. So you definitely have to like train to get to this.
There's give and takes for all of them.
Yeah.
Like, the weight of the Mertailor one is definitely something you get in the water and you start to sink to the bottom because you're a lot heavier at the bottom of your ankles. So it all just depends. And that is why practice and safety comes in, because you don't jump into the ocean for the very first time in a tail. Please don't drown.
Yes, please.
Please don't drown.
So those are all monofin examples that you could start out with.
Let's see. Someone asked a really good question. Someone said, how strong do you have to be to get past the feeling silly part?
Oh.
That's a great question. So it just is like based on comfort. I think I still feel a little silly sometimes, and like that's okay. It's a weird motion to like put yourself into not bending your knees and not like inchworm swimming, you know, like all of those kinds of things that just take practice. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to do the thing to get over it. It's not really about strength necessarily. It's about practice, because you should be a strong swimmer. That's very important. But the only way to become a strong swimmer is practice, right?
Yeah, it's the time you put in.
Are we going to watch a baby video?
Yeah, I think we're going to now watch baby videos of these. Are literally the first videos that we really ever took.
Underwater. This is me training in a monofin.
Pre-tail.
2.5 years ago?
Yes.
That's probably good. We can probably start it. I'm going to mute the thingy, though. I'm going to mute it, because
we don't.
That doesn't mess with us.
No, it does.
Oh, it does.
I don't know. No.
It's fine. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Also, if you're watching from Instagram, go join us on YouTube. Okay, so let's now watch Baby Jasmine.
Yay! Oh gosh.
Okay.
I believe in you, Felicia.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh goodness. So
you got a stiff blade.
I was super stiff. I borrowed this from another mermaid friend, and she let me use this. Very, very sweet. It's the first time I ever did a backflip.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really exciting. My hair was very long.
Good.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very fun. That water was very cold. It's just like a local pool, but that was it. And you have to start somewhere.
Yes.
To be able to grow.
Exactly, and just practicing in a monofin is literally always the number one thing I suggest if you want to just start your mermaid journey.
Yeah.
Just get comfortable. Practice weeks. probably weeks I spent in the pool.
Yeah.
Just with the monofin. No tail skin, nothing.
And then are we gonna watch Baby Felicia?
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Baby Felicia.
Let me scroll down a little bit. Because I did not scroll down all the way.
Oh, we've got to move through. Let me look at the chat. Let's see. It says, someone says hello. Hello, fishies.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you guys so much for being here. This is such a good, fun part of our day and our month. Mermaid said, boy, I don't start to sink till the F3 size. That's, yeah, no, I get that. I am a floaty fish. Sometimes. It really just depends on the water.
Yeah, it does kind of depend on a lot of things.
In the ocean, I am just usually like 3 inches from the surface. In the springs, I'm like a rock.
Yeah.
And Felicia almost saved me because I almost fell down a cavern.
Oh my gosh.
In the springs.
Yeah.
Because I was posing on the edge of a cavern and I just like tipped myself backwards for a picture and I kept going.
Just kept going.
I was
like, is she good? She definitely can't see. But
but I could not see. No. But yeah, that is another thing with safety is I swam in the ocean for the very first time this year in a tail. Very different experience. So like getting comfortable in a pool is very important. But then when you put yourself in a different atmosphere, make sure you have a buddy or three.
Yes, or 3, really.
And really make sure that you're taking it easy. It's really important. There is nothing wrong with taking your time and practicing and not feeling like you are Mermaid Hannah the first time you get in the water. Because it's not, Mermaid Hannah wasn't like that the first time she got in the water, right? It takes practice.
I would say 3 buddies because especially if you're trying to get content or you're working with a photographer, they're not paying attention.
No.
They're like focused on their gear. And so it's very important to have an additional safety person, I would say. So Safety all the time.
No dead mermaids.
Yes.
Ever.
Don't swim alone.
No, never. Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at
is this Baby Felicia?
Baby Felicia. We're calling ourselves babies, but we're literally like, what, 25?
But for us, this is Baby Mermaid phase.
Exactly, like the beginning. So I would post stuff like this, like literally before I even had a tail or anything.
Oh my gosh.
This was me with the Luna, just...
It switched over, right?
I think so.
Sure.
It might be a delay.
Okay.
But yeah, I would literally just...
oh my gosh, look at the baby.
Swim in my local neighborhood pool, literally.
Aww.
Like every other day, whenever I could get my boyfriend to come and take GoPro videos of me and like all that kind of stuff.
When you put your phone in the little pouch and like put it on video and slip it out.
That is how I started. All my first TikToks are with that a pouch.
Hi, Jacob.
Yeah. Hey.
Thanks so much for joining.
But yeah, for real, I'm just
these. If you go up a little more, it's when I started hanging out with Felicia, and it's me taking all of the pictures on her iPhone in the local pool.
Yeah, so we're just feeling good, being cute. I would practice bubble rings, just
oh my gosh,
you know what I mean? But I don't have. This is it.
Fin,
all I have is a monofin, and I'm living my best gosh darn mermaid life.
Yep.
Look at this. Sorry, I just have a lot of and I was really, who did I think I was? Look at this.
You were proud of yourself, and that's all that matters.
I was, and I loved it. I felt invigorated. And
look at baby mermaid tail.
And then we get into this era, which is a special era. Maybe we can have on another episode.
Yeah, we should go through that era. That's a whole other safety era, too.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah.
There is no... You gotta start somewhere.
You just have to
start. And there is nothing wrong with taking pictures in your bathtub in a mermaid tail.
No.
And not at all. Swimming in your local pool with just normal flippers on.
Yep.
To get training in so that you can get started. That's okay. Let's see. Where's the next goal that we were going to talk about?
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about all the different types of monofins you can get.
Yeah. Okay, so we went through a few, but there are a ton of monofins on the market. But first, we should definitely mention that there are also ones that are absolutely not safe that you should avoid at all costs. And those are ones from Wish or like Shein sells mermaid tails. Like
buy professional stuff.
Yeah, buy something that's an actual sports equipment company or
Cat is here.
Oh hi. Yeah. So actually there is, let me pull it up. Do you have the doc there?
I don't.
No.
While she pulls that up, Kat made a great point, and it's we as baby mermaids started out at a very high point due to the fact that both of us grew up in the water.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kat. I love you. I started swimming on the swim team when I was 4 years old.
Probably same here.
I've been a lifeguard most of my life. I was a junior lifeguard at the beach when I lived in California. I grew up in the water.
Oh my gosh. You were a beach lifeguard? Oh my gosh. So cute.
Anyone that lives in Orange County area knows that like during the summer all the kids ride their little bikes out to the beach. I was one of those kids. I grew up in the water. This came naturally to me. Not naturally. It was, I have been doing this since I was literally a baby.
Yeah.
Water is one of the most uncomfortable places. I was on the swim team. That's what I did growing up. So if that's not something that you did and you didn't grow up in the water, when you get in the water for the first time, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
It's going to take practice.
Absolutely.
And me, we talked about this on the last episode, but I watched Felicia's videos online, and I would watch them and then try and emulate them and then videotape myself and then look at them and compare them and be like, I gotta fix my feet here. I gotta fix my ankles here.
Okay.
Yeah. And like performance-wise, because then once you get more comfortable and natural in the water, then you can work on your face, because that comes way later. Just working on like the safety part of it and like getting your body used to it. Yeah.
I would definitely say I also, similar experience, like grew up on a swim team. Like my dad was a big swimmer, like a competitive swimmer. My uncle was a swim coach. So it was from, for sure.
From the beginning.
So I definitely came into mermaiding with an already high swim level. Which was great. I'm so glad that I had that experience growing up, but not everybody has that experience.
Right.
Maybe they didn't grow up around the water or even near like a pool, or it just wasn't accessible. But if that is your case, you can still become a mermaid. Absolutely. And I would say that there's now so many resources.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
I would just like, there's private swim lessons or something. I would just
Felicia used to teach.
Yes, I would teach 2-year-olds how to swim.
I got to do it for a little while. It's so cute when you let the little bob in the water.
Yes. Also so stressful because
small child.
They're small child, and they're like wailing in your face, and you're like, okay, time to go. Anywho, but
let's talk about this incredible.
Somewhere. But so. Maybe now you feel comfortable in the water, you've got a good swim level, and you want to know what kind of tail / monofin to get that's safe. And one of my mermaid friends, a mermaid Haley, she makes great TikTok content, especially surrounding tail safety. So I just wanted to highlight her website. She has a tail safety tab here. And she just kind of has really great info about everything that has to do with like safe monofin, brands that are unsafe, and even how it can hurt you, because maybe you just think like, oh, it'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
But like,
it's very dangerous.
Yeah. So I will.
And then a great recommendation breakdown. Wow, that's beautiful.
Beautiful. I'll link this in the description of the video, but fabric is definitely a good place to start. Fin Fun is like standard OG, probably the cheapest.
It's an easy introduction. Or Mertailor Guppies, or Finfolk Discovery Tales. Yes. There's Magic Tail, which is like a Mahina monofin. Oh, the bigger ones,
So there's a ton of options here. So Haley Mermaid's tail safety is great.
Beautiful. Oh, and there's that unsafe list that we were going over, which is like AliExpress and Wish. And the big thing is, if you don't buy a tail that's safe, you might not be able to get out of it safely, because it wasn't designed for you to be able to comfortably and safely get out of it. And as a lifeguard, both of us were lifeguards, drowning happens very quickly. and it's very scary, and nobody wants anyone to get hurt doing something that they love to do. And this isn't worth it. So it's not worth spending $10 on a cheap tail and possibly hurting yourself than spending a couple of months saving your money and buying something that's worth your safety, because your life is more important than a mermaid tail. So.
And also, just when it comes down to the actual tail, if you, my mom did, you know, she was being very supportive. She did get me an Amazon tail.
Oh, no.
That did not come with the monofin.
Oh, no.
But I used it as a skin with the Luna, so, like, I had the safe monofin, but, like, that was all I had in the beginning, and my mom just got it for me off Amazon, but that tail lasted a whole of 1 second. As soon as I wore it in the water or whatever, it stretched out, it, like, everything faded, and it was just, it did not have any longevity to this product. You get what you pay for. Yep. But, like, I have a Mertailer Fantasy that I bought, like, a year or two ago. Like,
and it's still
the same.
Holding strong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my Mertailer was the first tail that I ever bought with that monofin, because I bought them together, because I was lucky enough to be somewhere where I got one. And I love that thing so much.
And it's like the same as when you bought it. And it's just like dependable, high quality, and it really is important for safety and just like value for money.
Yes.
So,
yeah, if I'm going to spend the money, it's going to last.
Invest in a good starter, because I still train in my Fantasy and like my Linden monofin and everything. Like, I'm not in my full silicone tail all the time, as you can see.
No one has time.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Someone said, question, will all of this be on the final? Yes, there will be a quiz at the end.
Yes. Better be taking notes. So that's, if there's any other questions for, like, monofins or, like, beginner tails, let us know. But,
and making sure it fits. There's some, on most websites, there's, like, a breakdown of sizing. Make sure that you're making it comfortably fitting. You're not going too tight and not too loose, because both of those have their own problems. Yeah. That's not fun.
So, like, too loose could offer a lot of drag. When that cheap tail that I had, it, like, it got super loose on, it just, like, went straight down to my ankles as soon as I did, like, one motion.
So
it was
scary.
not good. So make sure it is well fit, well fitting.
Do you want to watch a baby video of us together?
Yeah,
let's just give them a reward.
Yeah.
We have, so the very first TikTok together, Felicia's TikTok famous, if you didn't know. Very TikTok famous, because they're not going to say it. And this is the very first time I swam in my Mertailer fin, monofin and everything. She was like, can you do this thing? And I was like, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I was like, because I think we talked about it briefly in our first episode, but our first time we ever met and swam together, this is a video of that, and we were filming each other, and I was like, do you want to do a TikTok? And like, so this is that TikTok.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
How loud is this gonna be? We're gonna find out.
Oh, it might not have any sound because of
the internet.
Yeah.
Look at your baby tail.
But yeah, so this is like the choose your character type of thing, and look at that.
And there I go, because I floated.
But you were covered, and you made it fancy. But yeah, we can watch it again, because TikToks are like that, you know?
Yeah.
But so I have a shooter monofin in this tail, which was like very important for making that. And then this is the Mertailer.
The Mertailer, and it was super cozy.
So is it all backwards?
Probably.
Okay.
Candy put it in there, so it's not my fault.
Okay. But yeah, that is like our first video together. Yeah. We probably have more.
I know there's some. We've noticed, because both of us like to make sure the other person has content. So there's very little content of the two of us together. We have never done a professional shoot in a tail together before.
In a tail, no. Ever. Because we're always getting each other.
Yes. So, except, we have the one where we made the infinity symbol.
True.
And then we almost broke ourselves and we stopped being in tails.
Yeah, that was a time.
Yep.
Maybe I can find those, but...
I'm sure that's somewhere. Alright. So, when it comes, let me see if there's any questions before we move on to the next part. Yeah.
And I think I'm going to say goodbye on Instagram. If you are invested, come over to the YouTube and say Shello there.
Nick asked, how can I train to start holding my breath longer? So when it comes to safety, again, if you're going to start training your breath holds, I recommend professional training and certifications first and foremost, or training with someone that's qualified.
Yeah.
So that you're being safe. Please don't just go to a pool by yourself and sit at the bottom of the pool and try and hold your breath longer. The best way to make it more comfortable is to start doing cardio. Start running, get on a bike, those kinds of things.
Or just swimming.
Or just swimming normally. And getting your cardio, because it will help make things easier.
Yeah. Sorry.
Did we rattle?
I just kicked the camera. Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah. Huh. Great question. Thanks, Nick.
Not even bedazzling.
I know, I'm so distracted.
We're into it because we got a lot of info to share.
Is there a different monofin for strong swimmers? Tall merfolk. I am a tall merfolk.
We're both tall.
So you can work with the little ones.
Oh, yeah.
And you can work with them, and you just adjust to them, but Mertailor specifically makes much bigger
ones.
And I swam in one for the first time in Roatan when I did my Little Mermaid photo shoot, and man, I moved a lot faster. Yeah.
They are way heavier, but they are, they're huge and they're wide, so you get like a lot of big propulsion. Also competitor monofins, like for free diving, like those are, I guess, if you're ready for it, those are intense.
Yeah.
But they're really fun and like you can really get somewhere on those.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I do get, from being a tall fish, you want something a little proportionate. Cause I know the everyday mermaid, Abby, is she's like 6 feet tall.
Speaking of tall fish,
I know, that's actually crazy. But yeah, she likes the larger monofins because she's tall and it looks very proportionate. So Mertailor, Fantasy 3 or 5.
Yes,
I would
5
say
for sure.
The 5's huge.
Huge. It's beautiful.
Yeah. What other ones?
I'm trying to. Is it Mahinas?
The Mahinas?
The one Elle wears.
The Mahina. I feel like they're like a good average size. They kind of look proportionate on everybody. I don't have too much experience with Mahinas. I wore it one time in the
that's right.
in the Miss Mermaid pageant, and I was like absolutely did not digest anything that happened to me that entire week. But it was fine. It was good. Some people like hate that monofin. Some people really love it, but I think it's a good one for just.
I think it's a great intro to one, and then. We're not really going to talk about silicone tails as much today.
No, that's,
I think that's
later on.
Much later on. You do not need a silicone tail to be a mermaid.
No.
I don't have a silicone tail. And I've been doing this for years. I just ordered mine, and it's hopefully going to be done in like a month. Very excited. But I have been swimming without a rigid monofin my entire career, and since I started, you do not need those kinds of things to be a mermaid.
Yeah.
It's not what makes you a mermaid. What makes you a mermaid is you wanting to be a mermaid, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then being safe. Please don't drown.
Yeah. So great questions coming through. I appreciate everybody for popping on in.
Oh my gosh,
Thank you so much.
So many good questions.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know we were going to talk about this, which I think is a good segue.
Yeah. So, okay, you discovered that mermaiding was even a thing. You decided to get in the pool, start like working on your swim level. Maybe you got a monofin, but you're like, I don't have anyone to swim with, or like, how do I connect to other mermaids? And getting online is a natural next step if you are not already. For just diving into the mermaiding world. So we definitely wanted to talk today just about getting online in general as a mermaid. So any questions relating to that, drop them in the chat now. But I will say that as far as my experience,
she got famous really fast.
I just hopped onto TikTok at the right time. But before that, that was like a year kind of, or like several months after I really, like I got my first monofin. Definitely like a year and a half after I got my first monofin, I want to say. And I just started following people, and, you know, Facebook groups, Instagram, YouTube. I just started looking stuff up, and I think that Instagram was a really great tool in connecting with people. Facebook groups as well.
I think there's a lot of really good Facebook groups right now.
Yeah, a lot. I think, and there's even more popping up.
Yeah.
So I would say that if you just want to look and see if you can find people locally to you, that maybe there's a pod near you, or like maybe even a community pool has mermaid swim lessons. Like there are a lot more mermaids, a lot more mermaid courses and lessons and stuff popping up everywhere. Yeah. So I would just like look for that, and maybe if it's not in your area, like I had a really good community in Maryland where I am. But I also really resonated with the Nashville Mermaid Pod because, of course, Abby made it look so fun, and so it was my birthday trip where I was like, I want to go swim with this pod. It looks so much fun. I just want to connect with people that are interested in the same things. So my boyfriend and I went. We drove to from Maryland to Tennessee, and that was like the first time I met Abby, and it was super fun. And it was just so cool. Even though I saved up to travel to go swim with other like-minded people, I would say if maybe there's not somebody locally to you, saving up for a trip or planning something like that, it was super inspiring and like really fun to go and do that. So I would just kind of see what kind of community that's already exists resonates with you, or create your own.
Find one. I mean, especially a lot of those landlocked states, there's a lot more mermaids than you think there are.
Oh yeah.
Starting to look them up and finding those communities, because they do big trips and they travel, and then they do trips and travel together. One of the really cool things about conventions, there's lots of them all over the country now, and it's really great and accessible way to get to see all these mermaids that you see online, and I fangirl every single time because I get to see all these beautiful performers that I watch online, and then
meet somebody who is sort of close to you, or maybe like a town over, a state over, driving distance away that you had no idea even like existed before. Exactly, like literally us had no idea, and then we're like, oh my gosh, we should swim together, and then we did. A lot. So, going to meetups and conventions, or there's also a ton of like retreats and trips and stuff happening, which is another really great way to meet people. I think that just
because you don't have something or like can't swim in your local pool right this second doesn't mean you can't do it eventually. You can't find a community to do it with, or a place to do it with, or plan a trip to a lake, or
like a scuba park.
That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, there's some in land, like maybe not landlocked, but like there are some in the middle of nowhere. Like we went to a random one in Virginia, like not near the ocean, like not near the coast.
And there was like a helicopter at the bottom of it for scuba divers.
So like there's cool.
It exists.
There's cool places like that. There's one in like North Carolina, in the middle of North Carolina. Also, I do want to say, if you live in a colder climate, two very inspirational pods, I would say, is the Canadian mermaids.
Yes.
They're in Canada. I'm like, how? Their mermaid season is like this big. But they are swimming together all the time. I would say that also Ocean State Mermaid, Erin.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Erin.
she just started a whole group, like,
super
because they're in the Northeast, and so it's super cold up there, but they have a good, they formed a good connection with their local, like, Y, and created a whole thing. So it's like, there's so many opportunities out there, whether you find somebody near you or can create it yourself, because maybe like,
there's a bunch of people that want it.
Exactly.
And all you gotta do is ask and find the people around you, because mermaids are everywhere.
They are.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And maybe like your local community pool isn't cool about it right now, but that doesn't mean you can't convince them. You get a whole group together, you all pay for your time.
Ask nicely and treat them with a lot of respect as someone that worked at a pool.
And do a swim test, and just make sure that, the pool knows that you are going to be
very safe
and respectful, and that it will be a great investment opportunity for them to allow mermaids. So,
yeah. A lot of times they just panic because it's a lot of people with a lot of equipment, and it's scary. Like we were talking about, it's dangerous. As a lifeguard, it would scare the bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you can like rent like a lane or something like that and plan ahead and schedule. And just try to have to talk to people a little bit.
Exactly. You just have to ask for what you want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's see. What mermaid tales surprise you to find out how good it made you look, and surprise to find out how much you love it?
Oh,
that's a good question.
That is a good question. What mermaid tale surprises you?
I haven't worn very many tails. So I've worn the Odyssey, which, strangely enough, I've worn it in gold and blue.
Oh yeah.
And I was surprised how much I liked wearing blue. But it had a lot of beautiful color shifts, so it was like a bunch of crazy colors.
Yeah, that one is really
that one's crazy.
Really
it's so pretty. It's Kat's. Thank you, Kat. I love you. She was kind enough to let me borrow it, and that is how I got to do a lot of stuff. The very first time I turned on the tail, it was Felicia's, I'm pretty sure.
Actually, yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny.
I should find that video.
Oh my gosh.
There's like a wiggle video of me trying to get in a tail for the very first time.
That's so funny. Probably me too.
Yeah.
But I would. When I went to Nashville to swim in the Nashville pod, I borrowed Abby's tail. I didn't bring one. I didn't even think I had one at that point. Yeah. Actually, I didn't. And I even had to ask Abby. I was like, I've never put a fabric tail on before. Like, how do I put this monofin in here? How do I do it? And so she helped me out. So thank you very much, Abby. Appreciate you so much. Find somebody who has one, and they'll probably let you swim in it because we all want more mermaids.
Yeah. Community is important.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, how do you know when you're ready to book your first mermaid performance?
Whoa,
I think that's a
great
good
question.
lead in. I think we're going to talk more about this later.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do a whole
video
professional route later on.
When you start mermaiding, definitely make sure that you are mermaiding to get your safety levels up first. Establishing yourself online for fun.
Yes.
Making sure you're making a community, making a Mersona. That is one of my favorite parts.
Yes.
Establishing what you want out of mermaiding is the first step. Why are you mermaiding?
What are your goals? And your goals can evolve.
Yes.
But I would absolutely have your goals kind of spelled out and are a focus. And in the beginning, it's not going to be probably booking things right off the bat. It's just like getting yourself ready for that. I don't know.
It takes time. I think it depends on what kind of performance you want to book.
That's very true.
And there are so many different types of things that you can do in the mermaiding community. You can start with dry gigs.
Yeah.
I started as a party princess, which is how I got brought into the mermaid world. And it did me a lot of Tiana and Princess Jasmine's, and that kind of connection. When you're in mermaiding world, you talk to kids a lot. Do you want to perform with kids, or do you want to not perform with kids? That's a big separation.
Yeah, that is. What kind of gig definitely dictates
the kind of
when you'll be ready.
Yep. Do you want to do tank work? That's a completely different field.
Yeah.
Making sure that you are working. Do you want to do aquarium stuff like wands and wishes? That is a lot of exercise.
A lot of certifications.
You need to be scuba certified. You need to be freediving certified for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Have you watched how deep they swim in those giant tanks?
Exactly.
It's a lot of work, and it's a great goal. It's a great thing. I still look, I will fangirl over Danielle every day of the week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
I watch her videos today and will be like, that is something that I want to do, and now I'm striving, and that's my goal. My goalpost has been pushed because now I want to do something like that.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah. So your goals can evolve, and you'll be ready at different points.
Yeah.
But definitely, just
keep going. Don't feel
fitness.
discouraged. Yeah, don't ever feel discouraged because you're not at a place. Use it as inspiration. Use it as something to motivate you to do more.
Yeah. And don't compare your first step to somebody else's 5th year.
Or even someone else's first step.
Yeah, honestly.
And like a big thing about the mermaiding community is this is an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
It is not cheap. There's a reason that I've been in this for almost 3 years and I don't have a tail. Because it took me 3 years to save up as much money as physically possible to order a custom tail. And I'm very excited. But
very excited for you. I think I'm like almost equally excited.
But it takes time, and that's
does.
okay. I own one piece of mermaid equipment. I own a beautiful carryall top that I bought off another mermaid.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes, and it's like my prized possession because it's like the one mermaid thing
it's
I have.
Gorgeous.
But someone else's first step is not the same. You're gonna post a video on TikTok and 12 people might see it, and 5 people might like it, but 5 people liked it.
Exactly. And I will say, I've been thinking about this a lot recently because especially like getting online and like entering social media space, maybe just connecting with people is your goal, and that's fine. You're not like, but if you want to do the whole content creator thing, it's like a whole nother,
it's a whole nother thing. Other level.
But I will say that it's also not how many views, but who is viewing it.
Yeah.
Because the quality of people, like, that sounds weird, but not quantity, but like, there, you never know who that one of those 12 people are. And it's just so, you can really lose track of that, and get more into the numbers, like, oh, this didn't do as well, or that didn't do well, or like, I'm not doing as good as this person's doing, or whatever. But really, it's the people that are watching
that matter. Yeah.
that matter.
It's always the if there were 10 people sitting in a room with you and you had to talk to 10 people, wouldn't that be a lot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And those 10 people might be super cool and you all have a great conversation. And
we just did this. We just started our Don't Tap the Glass Instagram, and there was like no one following it. And then the next day there was like 15 people. Yeah. And we were looking through the list and we were like, wow, this is a bunch of people that have inspired us.
Exactly.
That we appreciate that, and it's that community building of people.
And how exactly how engaged the people are, and like that's way more important than like numbers and stuff. So I have been reflecting upon that a lot recently, so I just wanted to share that because it does. It's really hard, and it can feel like nothing or nobody, but no, those are people, and
they care.
Exactly, they do. Like, cause I'm a silent watcher of like YouTube videos and TikTok and stuff. Like, I try to comment on things because when people do it for me, it matters a lot. But normally, like, I'm invested in like got full-on parasocial relationships with like YouTubers and stuff, but I never leave any comments. And they're like, they probably don't, like, they don't know I exist or anything, and how much I like support them and invested, but like I'm just a number to them. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't make them any less important to you either. So like there might be people watching you and you don't know they exist, but they are very invested in your life, but maybe aren't comfortable enough liking and commenting it, and you might be inspiring someone else to get started. Yeah, too.
Definitely.
Which is really important.
It is cool to think about. So
again, all you have to do is start. If you want to do the thing, do the thing. I know that sounds really easy, but like the first time I figured out my Mersona name, which is my own name, I finally made an Instagram. And it felt really good just to own the Instagram. It was mine. Yeah. Right? And then moving forward from there. And then getting on Facebook and figuring out a bunch of people that I was also interested in. And other people that inspired me.
So yeah, that was a great question.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Yes, thank you. What else?
Oh, here we go. Here, you want to scroll through? Did we miss any questions?
Oh, yeah. Wow, we actually.
I know people are so
thank you guys
love
so
you
much.
So much. I think we answered those.
Wow. Okay, great. Do we have anything else on our what we want
on
to
our
talk
list?
about?
Yeah. Oh, it's already 4:25.
Okay, yeah. And I have like 3 or 4 questions that I got from Instagram, so we can. Should we just do this?
Yeah, let's do the Instagram questions.
So thank you so much for people that submitted questions to my Instagram. Meredith. I think that is that. Would you say that? Okay, sorry. So she doesn't have her own pool, and her community pool doesn't allow her to swim in a tail. And it got cut off.
Oh no.
No, No,
Oh, yes.
I
This is where my cup is at, by the way. I've been very distracted.
Wow. Yeah, mine's not really. We're going
Abstract.
Yeah, so what should they do? They don't live close to the sea. Mm-hmm. They want to pursue mermaiding. Where should they start with finding their Mersona? And how do they overcome
so many good questions.
Anxiety of judgment?
Oh, that's a good one. That one's hard.
Yeah, that is good. That's a hard one. I feel like
I still get that.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's never ever resolved.
I think some people are just more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, again, okay. I still get nervous performing, and that's okay.
Yeah, me too.
What was the first part? People that she doesn't live close to the sea, but she wants to pursue mermaiding. So like we talked about.
We did kind of talk about that. Just seeing what is available, creating your own opportunities.
Right.
Maybe saving up and traveling to
a convention or a pod trip.
Yeah, I will say that the Florida Springs meetup, I don't know if it's technically a convention, but the Splish Splash is a great place because
I didn't get to go to that. I really hope I get to go to that next year.
Yeah, me too.
It looked like so much fun. And I'll have a tail.
Yeah, because the springs are magical. There's so many people there. You can meet people from all over. It's camping based, so it's not like cheaper. Super expensive if you want to do the camping thing. But yeah, so that's a great one. Or creating your own stuff like that.
And how would you start creating your own, Felicia?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Well, I would maybe having a place to swim, if that is the goal.
That's an option, yeah.
Because maybe you just want to hang out and put tails on and like drink wine
and
or
take pictures.
Exactly. So
we did a tea party in our tails. It was really fun.
That's true. We did a tea party in our tails. So I guess finding a location would be a great one if you have a connection.
Posting about it online. I think there's almost every state has a like California Mermaid Pod meetup Facebook group. Start going through those. Go through the convention group meetups because then you can find out who's in your area traveling.
Yeah.
So you can see people that are already putting in the work to travel.
Yep. Even just like going through hashtags on Instagram or what have you. But I feel like there's so many of us out there, and maybe there's even people that don't even know that they want to be a mermaid yet.
And you might inspire someone else to get started.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a mermaid sticker on their car or their water bottle, and you're like, hey.
The 7,000 mermaid stickers
Are you a mermaid?
On my water bottle.
Yes.
There's Happy.
Hey. Yeah, so it's just kind of like being comfortable putting yourself out there, which can be hard.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
Sometimes it's easier to start online.
Yeah, definitely. And having one other person, like us going to the pool together.
Makes a big difference.
It does. Like having somebody else really helps with my overcoming judgment or whatever. I'm like, well, it's not just me. I got my friend, so
it's okay.
2 of us are a little out there, but that's fine.
And a lot of times people are staring because it's cool.
Yeah, or they just haven't seen it before. Yeah. It doesn't mean that they're
judging you. And if they are,
whatever. Like,
what are they
other people's opinions are none of your business.
What is the little punny, the sharks don't something about shrimp?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody help me out.
I think the original one is like lions pay no attention to opinions of sheep or something. I don't know.
But someone made an ocean themed one because mermaids love puns.
Yes, mermaids don't pay mind to the opinions of shrimp.
Something like that, yeah. But I remember we went and swam at one of our pools that has a really big well. So there was like a 15-foot well. And I remember there was a woman swimming in the lane next to us, and for like 45 minutes she was just had her goggles on and was just sitting at the bottom of the pool watching us.
Yeah.
And she was so sweet.
Yeah.
And afterwards she was like, I hope I'm not being weird and creepy. I just think this is so cool. And a lot of times people are interested and think it's really cool. And when you talk about the passion behind it and like we love doing this because it's fun, it's pretty. I see mermaiding as a performance art. It's art to me, and people get really into it. So you never know who else you're gonna inspire around you.
Exactly. And there's so many mermaids at heart that just don't have a tail yet that are out there
because they're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive, or they just don't know that they can get one. So yeah, I feel like more often than not it is because people are like, oh wow, that's cool. What are they doing?
That's neat. Yeah, that's weird
because I would just assume that that's what they're thinking.
Let's see, what, she had so many good questions.
Yeah, a lot of good
Oh,
ones.
should I start finding my Mersona?
Oh, yeah. That is a good one. I can actually share an exclusive. I had a different name before Felicia was
Wait,
Fins.
what?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever shared that before.
Exclusive. You've heard it here first.
It might actually be on my YouTube channel as like an old video. But I was gonna be, this is so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, but I was gonna be Mermaid Merrily. Yo,
Okay.
I'm so
like
glad.
Marley?
Yeah.
But with an
so,
mer?
MERILEE.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was because like mer for mermaid.
Oppie.
Yeah. And then I for cuteness and LEE. That's my middle name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I for cuteness.
I for just making it
fun.
not Merly.
Merly. Okay.
Merly.
That's cute.
Yeah. Merrily, I think, is what, I don't know.
That's
I don't
better
even
than
remember
me.
at this point, but I'm really glad that I went with Felicia with Fins.
With Fins. I think yours is really cute. I really like yours.
Yeah, I love it.
I didn't even think about a second name and was like, absolutely not, because the hardest thing that I have is when we're performing and someone says my name and it's not my name. I was like, I'm not going to respond.
No.
And I was going to do Jasmine the Mermaid, but when you look up Jasmine the Mermaid online, it's a lot of pictures of Princess Jasmine with a mermaid
As a
tail.
mermaid? Oh my gosh, that's
and
so
I
funny.
went, you know what? I like the idea of being a siren more anyway.
Yeah.
and
I like your whole backstory and everything.
Yeah.
It fits.
My backstory is based on like my real life. I think a lot of people do that. They find a lot of their own inspiration through their experiences. Even like seeing it as like oh gosh, now I can't think of words. Something that like moves you forward and as a motivation of like overcoming things. For me, mermaiding was like moving into performance art was me backing away from a career that was making me miserable, and performance art kind of saved me. So it's very much this like person that this creature that traveled alone on its own and found a pod and found people that loved and cared for them, and now they keep people safe. My tale is gonna have all these little details in it for this very story, and I'm very excited. That'll be a whole other video.
Yeah, we can get into that.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
sure.
Yeah, but Mersona is. Do you want it to be about yourself?
Do
you
want to create a whole new original character?
Do you want more than one?
True.
I know Kat. I will bring up Kat's beautiful, incredible acting skills because they've inspired me so much in performance arts world. They have full character sheets for the different types of mermaids that they have. I got to meet Mermaid Marsha for the first time at New York, the New York fair we did. And it's like a small...
I have yet to have the
pleasure. Marsha's great. I love Marsha. And then they have this like fierce, like siren dragon.
Oh my gosh,
Katya. That's just.
Yeah. Katya is fierce.
So cool.
The most incredible tale I think I've ever seen.
By Dimitri, Mr. Ocean. Some of the most beautiful, artistic, creative work I've ever seen in my life.
And the collaboration of both of their art forms coming together.
Just
wowza. Could cry right now.
Magical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other part of like Mersona is like pulling that character in, because you're going to start out and it might not be perfect. And your character is going to be, you are going to bring that character to life, and then eventually maybe your tail will get to show it off. You know? Something you can get there.
Exactly.
But Mersona is something that can be really personal to yourself, or it can just be a story if you want to creative write and make something up. And
like my Felicia with Fins was more so because I wanted to be a mermaid, but I also wanted to do free diving and scuba diving, and so just anything underwater. So that's why Fins kind of can encompass more than one type of fin. If that makes sense, not just a mermaid tail. So that's sort of the backstory of my handle. But in terms of Mersona, like when I am a mermaid performing, mine was just super lighthearted, and I just wanted something like fun. And so I just chose like the closest body of water to where I grew up, which was the Chesapeake Bay, and it's a super important estuary, the largest in the world, I think. So that was important to me to incorporate, and then I just like, tease humans, and I spend a lot of time near the surface, so I have freckles sometimes, and like, like you can just kind of
little details that other people might not notice but are important to you.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun part about it is you can kind of evolve your character over time, and with makeup and, you know, what you're wearing can be really important. Props you have.
Props, for sure.
I loved when Felicia and I used to perform together, we were both supposed to be younger mermaids.
Yeah.
Felicia was supposed to be the baby.
Yes.
Because she was the baby. And that was fun.
Which is so funny.
Right.
Yeah.
And our colors matched a lot of times when we were in the water, so both of us were like, we liked warm water and we played in the surface, and that's why we were shiny and like that kind of stuff.
All that kind of stuff.
Just
so yeah, you can just play off of the shape of your fluke, your dorsal fin, your prop, your colors. Like, there's just so much. So yeah. Okay, we can go.
I think that was a great. Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was a beautiful question.
That was so many. Thank you, Meredith.
Yeah.
How do you get comfortable underwater while holding your breath? That was from Mermaid Sierra.
Practice.
Yeah.
I know that sucks and it's not a helpful answer, but it's practice.
It is. It really, really is.
I started, I took a very cheap $40 GoPro that I got on Amazon, and I would hook it around the bottom part of like the stairs in a pool. And
I did the same thing.
And you practice your breathe ups. I watched a bunch of videos about breathe ups online, and I started practicing it, and you kind of get yourself into a good headspace. You go underwater, you open your eyes in front of that camera, and then you rewatch that footage and go, oh god.
Yeah, what do I need to do?
And then you learn from yourself. You watch it again, you do a bubble kiss and go, man, that didn't work out, let me try something else, and watch it over and over again. Ask questions online. Yeah,
for sure. Or do like a workshop. There's so many different mermaid courses, like beginner mermaid certifications.
There's so much of that stuff now.
Yeah, modeling workshops. I did one with Submerge at a convention last year. And
that was fun.
Yeah, you can also host a workshop with them. Like if you have a pod or something, they've done that before. So I think it all comes down to asking questions, practicing, and watching videos, because I watch videos of people too, and definitely your breathe up, your relaxation.
You make like scrunchy faces underwater. I did that a lot.
It really just comes to practice and getting comfortable. Like, you see maybe on YouTube and Instagram my highlight reel. I would say I'm at a pretty good place now where I'm pretty comfortable under the water every time I'm under the water. But that is not always the case.
No,
and especially in the especially in the beginning. I mean, I just genuinely do love the water, which I think contributes to like my ability to be more comfortable there. Definitely. So but I think that just
and what you see online is not real half the time.
Right. It is, but for 1 second.
That, we were talking about this earlier, that like when we come up from photo shoots specifically, that photo is or video, that 10-second slow-mo clip that you see, is the best part of that dive.
Of that
that entire dive.
That entire day sometimes.
And we come up from the water and there's water streaming out of our nose, our hair is in our face, our costumes are ruined, and that is not something you see during a performance.
We're cold, we're cussing. It's not
it's not as pretty. During performances, we're literally trained to put on a happy face, make it look easy, while my foot is asleep and I'm shivering.
I have a migraine.
Oh goodness. And and that is our job. We're getting paid to provide a service to look that way.
Exactly. It is a performance, and so for the hour we are performing, we are acting. But then immediately as soon as we're done, it is ugly.
Yeah. And it's not like mermaiding is not always comfy or fun. It's
I would say more often than not,
it's not. It's your feet cramp. I get very chilly very quickly. I don't like anything below like 65 degrees in air.
Oh, okay.
In water, your girl likes like 83.
Yeah, like 85.
85 if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Which happens sometimes. It's lovely.
Yeah.
But more than often than not, we are in 70-degree water.
Yeah.
And I make a grumpy face right before I have to hold my breath every single time because I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. It is very much a performance, which is what you see in person or online, and then we don't normally share the gross part. But
No.
I think I might start.
I think we should start sharing the reels.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Well, and it's very important to know that when you start and you watch that footage back of yourself and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? That's normal.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what
normal.
everyone
You're doing something
is.
right.
You're doing right. You're doing the thing at all.
Exactly.
And that's the most important part. Even if you look silly or feel silly.
Yeah.
Because there will be a moment where you do something and it clicks.
Yep.
And then you watch that video back and you're going to be proud of yourself. And you're like, I
yes.
did the thing.
Or it just felt great in the moment. You're like, whoa.
And then it'll click.
Yeah.
And that's important.
It
and
is.
you don't get to those moments if you don't get through the silly. You don't get through
the
the weird.
uncomfortable part. Yeah.
I think we should talk about what we're going to talk about next time.
Yeah. So next time we will delve into performing and maybe even getting a little bit more into becoming professional if that is your goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you've got questions that are in your head about how you want to go from, okay, I've been doing the beginner stuff, I'm safe, I've got a tail, I'm thinking about getting a silicone tail, I want to start getting hired.
Yeah.
How do I make sure that I'm in a position?
Hireable.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes.
That's kind of what we're going to be talking about next time. So make sure you think about your questions.
Anything you want to know, drop it down below.
Nice.
Okay.
Just dork. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. There were so many people here at the beginning.
Yeah.
It makes me feel really good. It makes me happy. And we're going to clip a lot of this together because I think this is important information. One of the big things that we've talked about for Don't Tap the Glass is not just for us to get to be silly and decorate cute little cups. Also, it's really cute.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
And it's about making sure that there's available information for people to start safely and comfortably so that we can make sure that the mermaid industry as a whole, the mermaid community as a whole is being lifted up.
Yeah.
Because that's important.
It's very important to us.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to share, our experiences, and I think it's going to be a really great year.
I think so too.
Super excited about it.
I'm really excited. Other things, there will be a whole new video.
Exactly, yes. So many things. It just feels good.
Yeah.
But this is like the first end of the year, like New Year energy that I felt that has been good.
Happy solstice.
Like, exactly, in like a long time. So, super excited, and we just want to, raise the tide.
Oh, that's cute.
Lift up the community, like lift up the industry, set
girl and her puns.
Higher standards, and just sort of, just kind of share.
Yeah.
Also wanted to say thanks to Merman Mondays.
Yeah.
They shouted us out in their Merman Monday. So just wanted to shout it out. They have they're in their second season now.
Yeah,
so they have a lot of great guests on their show and stuff. It's on Instagram.
Capital Merman.
Yeah, Capital Merman and Mermaid Christian.
Christian.
So you can, if you want more
mermaid
merfolk content, there's plenty to be found. Yes.
That is a good place to start to see if you're, let's say you start an Instagram and now you want to figure out who to follow. All of their guests.
Yeah, literally.
Really, all of their guests are a great place to start.
Yes.
Because you were like their first.
I was their first.
You were their first. I love that.
I'm very honored by that. I don't know how that happened, but I'm very honored. Thank you very much, friends. But okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for joining.
I'm excited. I think our next episode will be 2023.
Oh my gosh.
I
know. Wow. Next episode. It's gonna be crazy.
I think we got it. And then we'll have some announcements soon.
Yeah, and I think it will be January. We'll release the date as it gets closer, but we are committed to doing this once a month. So
even with her leaving me to another state, it's unfair. It's gonna snow and she's gonna be at the beach. It's unfair.
Then you'll just come visit.
It's true.
But so subscribe,
please.
That would be awesome. Follow _tap the glass Instagram on TikTok. And
follow our socials, which are right here. Socials. Oh, I'm wearing white and covering
there we go. Follow our socials, which with it, Jasmine the Siren, and thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
This was so much fun.
This is great.
Yes, we love y'all.
Yeah.